Let's go to the Alan Kwadwo Kyerematen campaign team. Buaben Asamoa, incidentally also a former director of communication for the New Patriotic Party, took over from Nana Akomia. He was member of parliament for Adentang. He's joined us on the line. YB, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Well, thank you very much.
I was just speaking to your former boss, Nana Akomia there. They are in the central region, the Baumia campaign trail. Where's yours?
My former boss, twice running. In 2012, I was also Deputy Director of Communications in charge of research. And then I was again Deputy Director of Communications under him. So he's my former boss twice.
And he didn't manage to whip you into his line?
No, this line is in the wrong line.
I'm sure he'll make you kneel down later and knock your head. But so he's in the central region with Dr. Baumia. Where are you with your boss, Alan Kwadwo Kyerematen?
We are moving into Ashanti region on Monday, the 7th of August. And we'll be there up to about 6 days in the Ashanti region. We're having our cluster meetings. So right now, we're in Accra.
And the cluster thing is, for people who don't know, where you group constituencies and meet them one at a go.
Exactly. That's the design we decided will best help the party, bring some dynamism, galvanize us, and make us feel good. And so far, so very good on that point. So we bring constituencies together. They organize themselves, they bus themselves in, they engage, they interact, they literally get to know each other and find out what others are doing in their constituency. And then we speak to them together. It's quite an interesting process.
That may save you time and resources, but do you not think that going to the constituency, meeting them in their base is better than inviting them to meet you at a centralized location?
Not necessarily. We thought through it very carefully. One realizes that this is a season where the party is literally suffering a state of confidence crisis, literally, given the situation we have all hands internationally and impacting our economy and all that. So you wanted to do something for the party rank and file, revive their spirits and get them to stand up and once again own the party with confidence. So if you go to them individually and you meet them privately, constituency by constituency, then you still have a situation where the community is excluded. The community will see that you've come to meet party people. The party people will keep whatever it is that they had to themselves because they still haven't developed confidence to deal with the public. With the clusters, the public sometimes are also part of the process because some of the meetings are in the open air. So the public hears what's going on. People come around. It even sometimes turns into a mini bazaar. You have all manner of vendors, food, water, all manner of things, clothing, paraphernalia. It's a veritable public interaction. It's very interesting. People come around. The public is there, and they feel part of the process. So it's a way of reviving the spirit of rank and file of the party and demonstrating to the public that we are still dynamic, we are still interested in retaining power, and we do have the means of retaining power.
I see. How is the GTP campaign being received, a great transformational program by Alan Kwadwo Kyerematen, or that message is for the larger Ghanaian audience and not necessarily the core base of the party?
It's for both. For the narrow party, you have confidence that you have a leader who is thought through what he intends to do, and he's put it on paper so you can interrogate it and satisfy yourself that he has a vision. Because part of the criteria for picking your next leader is that he should have a vision both for the party and for the nation. So it's reassuring that your leader, your potential leader, already has a vision that's on paper, can be dealt with by yourself and by the larger population. And for the larger population, it satisfies their hunger for something different, for change. because really what we need now is change, not the usual. So that hunger for change means that the Ghanaian is looking for solutions, a leadership of solutions. And the critical need now, the critical need that's looking for a solution is how you expand opportunities and access to the vast majority of Ghanaians who are ready and willing to put their talents to work, but don't have spaces and openings. So you need somebody who can create structures with openings for jobs and incomes. The GTP offers that space, creating for jobs, for incomes, demonstrating that the structures are there, that the spaces are capable of being created for the larger majority of Ghanaians. So that solution-based leadership is what Ghanaians are looking for. And Martin has demonstrated through the GTP that he has the solutions for Ghanaians. And if it's for Ghanaians, then the party is reassured because the party is taking him to go and market him to Ghanaians. Ultimately, it's not only the party that votes. All of Ghana will vote. So the GTP is a message for all of us.
When you talk about saving Ghanaians, saving them from who? From yourselves? Because you are the ones who are in power. You cause the problems that you want to save us from. How are you able to disintegrate yourselves from the governance which you are trying to save us from?
I'm talking about solutions. When I say saving Ghanaians, I'm talking about prospective solutions. I'm not saying our governance is bad. I'm saying we've had issues. We've had difficulties, and there are no doubts that we've had difficulties. At the moment, we are going through a very difficult situation as far as governance is concerned, especially in the economic area. So generally, we have difficulties. Nobody is doubting that. We've also made a lot of progress. We've made major headway in delivering on the social sector, in delivering on the areas that have advanced Ghana. And therefore, we are not saying that the Alanche Martin campaign is divorced from governance. No, but it's prospective. We are saying that there are solutions needed, apart from all that we've done. It's something I sometimes say on the campaign trail. I say that President Kufuor offered us the opportunity to have larger families by giving us free maternal health care. President Nana Addo, has come in and educated all those children Kufuor afforded us. Who is to give them jobs? Alan Martin. Because the products of free SHS, 500,000 qualified, trained people, not fully skilled yet in terms of exactly what they do, but qualified and trained through formal education, are coming out onto the job market. Where are the jobs? You need to entrust that problem. That is the problem we are going to solve. That's why you need a problem-solving leader. You need to entrust the leadership to somebody who is experienced in creating frameworks and spaces for jobs, for incomes. And Alan Martin has demonstrated that he is the man for that. He's the most recent being the African Continental Free Trade Area. This is something that's being hailed Africa-wide and worldwide as a new opportunity to create jobs, to create incomes for a large majority of Africans, driving production, appropriate production relevant to Africa, production that will be consumed in Africa by Africans, and also, of course, for export. And all that creates incomes, creates jobs, stabilizes economies, because it means that forex dealings and all that in terms of European-oriented consumer markets will change with time. It's the same person credited with the PSR. It's the same person who's been involved with the 1D, 1F. And you heard the finance minister in Parliament say that 1D, 1F, we have 123 factories running, having created over 160,000 direct and indirect jobs. These are permanent, sustainable jobs. And it's something we can point to and show that it's been done. And over 100 factories since independence. I don't think any government can point its fingers at its chest and say that I have created 100 factories. It's been done through the Ghana government under the supervision of Mr. Martin. So the problem I'm talking about is that our democracy is mature. We now need to, the political democracy that we have is mature. We now need to tackle the economic space. And that is the solution that we are looking for a leader to deal with. And I like Martin's man.
Interesting. Before you go, your candidate was described as the establishment candidate in the 2007-2008 contest. I don't know how that panned out, even though it was not a formal communication from the president at the time who said he endorsed him or otherwise, but it was used generally, and till date, it is being thrown around. Today, we have a sitting president, an MPP president, who is going to hand over in 2024. He has said he also doesn't support anyone. Is that good for your campaign, bad for your campaign, or you are indifferent?
It's amazing how the world works, isn't it? That years ago in 2007, Mr. Chematin had to suffer the difficulties of being identified, whether by perception or omission or commission, as the establishment candidate, coming with a lot of detriment. And now, somebody else is suffering the same thing, and the president feels compelled to come because, frankly, establishment candidates don't do well. And whether it's apparent, whether it's perceptional, whether it's, like I said, by omission or commission, it is clear that the race ahead of us has favored establishment candidate. So I'm happy. His Excellency the President has categorically stated that he will not support anybody or he is not supporting anybody. But the President is an individual. It's the whole establishment. And the establishment is clearly supporting someone.
So who is the establishment supporting? Alan Chemantin, of course, because he has a track record of establishment support.
Umar, do I have to tell you who the establishment candidate is?
I mean, if we're going by the president, if he's enjoyed establishment support in the past, it's only logical to think he's still the one enjoying that.
No, Mr. Chematin is not the establishment candidate. Mr. Chematin is going it alone. He's going it with delegates. He's going it with the logic of his contest. I mean, there's so much internal logic to his contestation at the moment. And so that is what is driving him forward. That naturally, given all the circumstances, what the party is looking for, service to the party, service to the nation, his own personality, and all that.
When we talk about establishment candidates, we often talk about establishment advantage. And also those who are not establishment, the disadvantage. Are you suffering any disadvantage from the establishment in your campaign?
See, when you do establishment politics, on the face of it, you tend to assume advantage because it would appear that all the elements are in your favor. The elements associated with incumbency, ease of movement, all other resources and authority over those who are exceptionally, apparently managing the process and being part of the process, influence in a position of authority. All those things are the advantages you are talking about. But the bottom line is that those advantages may, on the face of it, appear useful, but when you be in charge for 16 years, they are no more useful. When you be in charge for 16 years, they are no more useful because what is there that's going to happen again? That hasn't happened already. People thirst for change. Like I'm saying, the challenges are new. The challenges are different. People are thirsting for a different kind of leadership, a different kind of solution. So the apparent benefits, the apparent, as you called it, what did you describe it as? Advantage.
Yes.
The apparent advantage of being an establishment candidate is wiped out by the need for dynamism, by the need for change, by the need for a new view, a new look, to deal with new problems, new issues. As we mature, things come up. You solve one problem, another problem pops up. Now our biggest problem, like I said, is creating spaces for people who are willing and able to secure those spaces and grow in terms of dignity, labor in dignity, their incomes, their jobs. That's what grows society. People have dignity from labor, serve themselves, entrepreneurs, work for others, and then they do all the other social things that come with an income. That's how you grow a society. Ghanaian society needs to grow. We need to move beyond the narrow space where government literally controls everything and move beyond to the larger spaces where the private sector, including the informal private sector, is enabled, brought into play, so that individuals, groups of people are able to generate resources through the activities that government facilitates. That new challenge is what people are looking for, a new leader to deal with. That leader, undoubtedly, is Alan Chemati.
Thank you so much and wish you all the best, sir.
I'm grateful, Omar.